on. How did I do that? I'm just like, no. Hi, everybody. Let's leave a little Plazz here. Here's the moon. Zazoo Plazz report. February 4th, 2024. Even though it's 3 a.m. or so. 3:30, maybe 4 o'clock. February 5th, 2024. There's the moon. This might be my last Zazoo report from this location because I'm moving. I got myself a little place. Currently, look at all those beautiful stars. Wow, I don't think you can see the stars, but they are pretty out here. Wow. Yeah, so, are you on? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Testing. So I'm kind of like living in two different dimensions. I'm going back and forth. Yeah, a lot has happened. And I just sold that house. One of our neighbors passed away a few months ago, and I just sold the house, and somebody new just moved in this weekend. Just as I'm moving out, somebody's moving in. So that's happening. Wow. So yeah, I thought it'd be kind of cool to do one last report, because last week we had the sleet show. So this week I thought I would do, before I go back and heat up my using up the pantry food meals. I just made myself I didn't get my grocery delivery order yet because I'm going to my new place next week. I'm like, well, I just have to use up the food before I move to my new place, because my former spouse is staying here in the house. And I got, I'm like trying to use stuff up, so I got these like shells, boxes of like the little tiny ones mixed with the big ones, and the jar of pasta sauce with the, like bunch of frozen meatballs thrown in there, heated up. So I'm trying to use everything up, so it'll work out. So what we did, so before I started in all of my usual, readings and song of the week, which has to do with, we're coming up on Valentine's Day, so of course it's got to have heart in the title. And that would have been a good one. I love the band Heart. Maybe I'll do them next week. But no, this week, because the Grammys were last night, I picked a song that was nominated for a Grammy. Let's see if you can guess it. By 1971. You might be surprised. By, best pop duo or group. So it's got to be at least two people. And it's got Heart in the title. So let's see if you can figure it out. So it's going to be a quick one because I think I'm going to start running out of battery because I was on my phone too much, doing too much social media today. But anyway, had a great time. So I'm going to tell a little story just because it's funny, just to start off. And so anyway, we had this old, my former, Gray is helping me move. And so we had this big treadmill in the basement, right? So my kid comes home, Zach comes home from college. He's going to help us, move this thing. So we got this treadmill. It's like one of those big Nordic track treadmills. It's like 20 years old, but I didn't want to spend $1,000 for a new one. So he took it apart. He tried to get it up the stairs by himself. That didn't work. I hear this massive crash. The treadmill's at the bottom of the steps. He broke it in two pieces, intentionally, finally, to move it, to get it into the minivan. We finally get it to the apartment, and, he can't get the screws in it right, so all the screws are all laid out all over the floor, so we're there. I said, all of a sudden I had this image of the dog. We've been here a while, we're not getting anywhere. I said, it was so strange not to hear the dog. She's got this raspy cough because we had her operation, I said, all of a sudden I could hear the rasp, like So then we go home, right? And then we walk in the house. I went in first. I opened the door. The door wouldn't open, right? To the back, we go into the garage. I'm pushing on the door, and it's not. And finally I get it open, and I step on the mat. And then I step out of the floor. So apparently, with all that's going on, the poor dog got a little case of diarrhea. So she was trying to be neat. You know, we had this mat right by the door to the garage. You know, it's an old mat. So she went there, you know, number 2 all over. And me with my new Skechers, fairly new, my good Skechers, I stepped right in it and proceeded to track it all over the kitchen floor until I looked down and realized that I had big clumps of dog poop embedded in my Skechers. And so it took me a good half an hour to get it out, and I still haven't gotten it all out. We had to end up throwing out the mat. The poor dog, she's eating chicken and rice. The poor thing. She was upset, but I was more upset because I stepped in dog poop when I came back to my house, right? When I'm in my apartment, everything is nice and clean and nice. You know. So, and we went out, got me a new TV, which is a nicer TV than I had in the house. So everything is like brand new. I'm going to go with after everybody gets the heck out, finishes fixing the treadmill, I'm going to go with my sage stick, you know, and sage the whole place. I hope I don't set off the smoke alarm. To get all the bad voodoos out, the voodoo, jujus, whatever. All the bad vibes. That's what you're supposed to do when you move into a new place. You take and my kid, he's the younger one, he gave me sage stick. You gotta light it. It's like a bunch of weeds, and you wave it around, and it purifies the air. It gets rid of, you know, any old energy, stuck, you know, energy. It gets it out of the corners. So anyway, so I gotta do that. And I gotta buy a vacuum and an air bed to sleep on until my bed comes, because I don't have that yet. So I'm still staying at home. You know, I packed all my clothes and the suitcase that I got. Of course, the zipper was broken, because all of our suitcases are broken, except for the little sugar skull one I took to Arizona. That was brand new. So I put all my socks and stuff in there. I'll be fine. But, you know, I'm a good mover. I'm a good traveler. So I live so as to be able to go anywhere at the spur of the moment, you know, if I have to. Because that's how I am. Somebody's dog barking. So anyway, we're back to the readings today. Job, he's the guy he's a lot of fun at a party. He says, how much drudgery and misery is his life? Job. So, and then we have a psalm about God healing the brokenhearted, you know, the forgotten, collecting. So the themes this week, you know, healing, rebuilding, fixing the broken, all right? Everything's got to break, which is kind of, you know, how I've been feeling, packing up my house. I'm like, you know, oh yeah, I found the Cheers glasses I had when I used to be in the business and financial planning. We had a conference near Boston, right? Early 90s. And for gifts, they gave us these Cheers glasses, like the TV show. But there was an actual bar near Boston that, you know, was like the Cheers bar. So I got a set of 4 of these. So I said, okay, he can have 2, and I'll take 2, even though they were all mine originally, right? And I got, okay, how many wine glasses can I take? Because we got a set of 6 or whatever. So I'm like counting. And this is what it comes down to, folks. It's like, okay, I'm going to take 2 champagne flutes. You can keep 2. I've taken my damn, you know, like my little dishes, take two, leave two. I don't care. I don't care about stuff, except certain stuff. And that, I'm taking that. Anyway, yeah, it's very interesting to see what you value. If somebody says you've got to move out of your house, you know, obviously all my jewelry is all, it's all like tarnished. It just falls apart. All that stuff just falls apart. What do I value? My photos, my Bee Gees records, my Grease album, all my photos in my Zazoo notebooks, right? I got in my books, right? Don't take my books and my photos, right? My memories. Those are gold to me. The jewelry, you can keep that. I don't care. Anyway, yeah. So then we have Paul in the Corinthians. He can't be boastful. He has a duty to share the gospel, right? So he becomes a slave to all, right? Paul, speaking to the Corinthians, he says, he becomes weak to serve the weak, to attract the weak, right? He becomes lower. And that's the hallmark of a real leader. Somebody who's, a spiritual leader who's going to, so that you see yourself in them, right? They see themselves in you, and you are attracted by their light, and then they bring you to their level, and they push you beyond their level. That's what you're supposed to do. Not worship at my feet. No, if you're going to be a real leader, you have to serve. You have to be humble. Anyway, just thought I'd throw that out there. So, Mark's Gospel. Then we have Jesus saying Simon's mother-in-law was sick. She had a fever. Simon Peter. And then, so Jesus goes, this gets me every time, is he heals her, right? And then she goes and starts waiting on them. It's like, really? Is that, so we have this theme of service, right? She's healed so she can be of service. She's not healed so she can put her feet up and watch soap operas and eat bonbons all day. She's healed so that she can be of service. So that's the thing, right? For what purpose are we here? For what purpose is our energy? Does it go toward, We're not here just to look good, just to, as we age and no. How you're supposed to burn out. We're supposed to use up all our energy. We're not supposed to be perfectly preserved like in a wax museum. Okay, people? You want to be strong, of good health, but forget, trying to be this perfect, beauty and all. It's from within. It radiates from within out. All right? Let's put it out there right now. It should be said. You reflect the emotions that you express, right? Most often. If you're joyful, you're going to look joyful when you're 60 or 70. If you're joyful when you're a kid, you're still going to be joyful. You've got to nurture that which wants to be expressed. Shine your light. So anyway, so the song, the Bee Gees. How can I heal? How can you heal a broken heart? So when I see that word brokenhearted, I thought of this song. Because I know the one, I got their greatest hits album or whatever that had this on it. But I guess it came out when I was, 5, in 1971. It was their first hit in the U.S. to go to #1 on the Billboard. And it was nominated for a Grammy. Best Pop Duo or Group. Barry and Robin wrote it, and Morris and whatever sang on it. But yeah, so how can a loser ever win? How can you? Yeah. It went gold. Yeah, awesome song. It's very, it just gets you, you know? It's the kind of song you should listen to if you're having a bad day and you just stepped in dog poop and your treadmill broke and you're trying to find a cheap air mattress to sleep on in your new apartment. After you've just left the house you've lived in and built for 28 years. No, 27 years almost. But, you know, we all have those moments. But they're very real, and they're poignant. And they're no less our life than those moments when we're like, yeah, you know, or those rocky moments. Yeah, those are good. But there's something about, in other words, the messages we get at our lowest points are at least as valuable, and probably more so, than the messages we get when we're out, you know, high-fiving our friends because our team just won the Super Bowl, right? The messages you get about yourself when your team loses and doesn't get to the Super Bowl, no matter how loyal a fan you are, it's going to happen. Your team can't win every year, you know? We all can't be, you know, Grammy winners every time. Sometimes you're going to get nominated and you're going to lose, right? More often than not. So how do we handle those situations, right? When you're eating mismatched shells, when you would rather have been eating clam chowder, but all the potatoes are, you know, soft and mushy, and you had to throw half of them out because they had big eyes on them. You know, those big things that grow on your potatoes. Sometimes things don't turn out the way we think they should, you know. And then sometimes they turn out better, you know. Like I was going to put my treadmill in my new place in the bedroom, and my kid says, "Mom, there's this like little bump out, cutout. You know, it's supposed to be like for a kitchen or something." He's like, "Mom, why didn't you put your treadmill there? You know, because it's the perfect spot." He said, "That way you don't, you know, your bedroom can just be like, you know, sort of like you can set up your, you know, your bed in there, have that kind of be relaxing, meditative, and yoga. And then out in the living room is where you do your workout. You set up your," he's like, "I'd put a couch over here, chair over here, TV there." Obviously, I'm not going to do it the way my 20-year-old kid would do it in his college place. But, you know, I ended up saying, gee, that is the best place, you know? So what we can do is we can live in harmony with other people, hear what they have to say, and then kind of take it into our heart and make our own way out of it. Take what, you know, sift it all through. It's like one of those flour sifters. Sift everything through, and what you're left with is, you know, is what's real, what's true for you. Whether it's what lipstick you want to wear, what shirt you want to wear, how you want to express yourself. You know? And that's how we mend a broken heart. That's how we come back to our center. Like Jesus, you know. It says he went out and he healed people. He cured people. But then he had to come back to himself, right? To replenish, to fill up the well. He wasn't just out there all the time. He would have gotten depleted, right? So this is how we have to do. If we're out there in the world and we're helping, you know, we're shining our light, we have to come back, take care of ourselves, come to center again, right? Fill up the well. Do whatever it is, you know. For one person, it could just be, you know, doing yoga or exercising or just having a nice meal, you know, journaling, stuff like that. It could be, just lying, watching a good show. I'm back. I'm watching all my old cold case shows from the early 2000s. I love that show, Cold Case, where they reopen all the old, the murder cases that never got solved, and then they have like songs from that, year, and it's great. If you've never seen Cold Case, go watch it. I think it's on Paramount Plus. So it's on the Roku channel. So I'm gonna go and heat up my pasta now. I'm running out of charge, so I better go. But yeah, so wish me luck. I'm moving in my new place. Next week I might be broadcasting from there. I might be retorting or reporting from my new place, just down the street. Until then, may you be. May your hearts be happy and heal, healthy, and joy. Until next week, Zazoo Plazz signing out. Take care.